All right, so in this presentation here today, I have my friend Niv Vega Garcia on the line here as well, and we're going to be hosting this presentation today on the topic of an introduction to retail arbitrage. And for a lot of you, you probably have heard a lot about selling products from one retailer, like from Overstock or Walmart, and selling products from those sites and selling those products on Amazon or eBay. Well, Niv, he's going to introduce himself in just a second, and he has, a lot of great experience with this in the past, a few years from in 2013 to 2015. But I'll let him do that, and then we'll jump into the presentation here today. And the whole goal here is to be able to help you guys understand the ins and outs of retail arbitrage, just the overview and the introduction, but more precisely, learning from the experience that Niv had. And I've gone and done a lot of retail arbitrage myself when I first started out, and a lot of the same exact experiences that he's had, I've had, and we'll get into those details as we start to move forward. So, yeah, so Niv, you want to introduce yourself there?
Yeah, thank you, Trent. Hello, everybody.
You bet.
My name is Niv. I'm 44 years old, from Israel.
Cool.
And I've been working online, mostly drop shipping, since around 2013 until now. I would like to share with you this case study that the time I used to do retail arbitrage between Amazon and, let's say, one or two other suppliers to selling on eBay, the platform everybody knows. You probably know it, Trent.
Yeah, you bet.
Yeah. And just show you what happened to me, all the pros and cons and everything.
Okay, awesome. Well, yeah, thanks a lot. So let's jump into the fun here today. So you mentioned that you started back in 2013 and ended around 2015, right?
Yeah, more or less.
So about 2 years or so, you went through and retailed products from one platform to another, and we'll get into the details there. But the result that you shared with me was that you grossed around $47,000 and netted around $30,000, about $17,000 in expenses. That sound about right?
Yeah, more or less right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So overall, for many people, that's not a bad income at all. Making $30,000 in 2 years just as a side income, is not a horrible thing, right?
Well, I completely agree with you, but it's not as smooth as it sounds.
Right.
Nice figures, but it's not exactly as it sounds. There's a lot to it.
Yeah, and so we hope to provide that light and shed some light on the reasons why it's not just everything as it seems, when it comes to retailing products from one platform to another, doing just retail arbitrage, okay? So, you mentioned here that, you had to go through and list a lot of products, didn't you?
Yeah, exactly. It was just basically time consuming. This was the main thing that I was struggling with. It's just more and more products to list on the eBay platform, and not only listing them, is research them, find them on other retailers, and do all this investigation about prices and all the rest of it. Just the time you spend into it, it was just amazing, overwhelming.
Right. Yeah, you had to go through a lot of products to be able to discover which ones would actually stick, in terms of sales, right? So let me I had to make a note there real quick. So okay, cool. Well, so you mentioned that you live in Israel, and a lot of folks, when they look at retailing and getting started off with selling products, online, they're always wondering if they're living outside of the U.S., can they actually still do that? And in your case, hey, you live outside of the U.S. in Israel, and you were able to do it successfully, right? So
yeah. The answer is yes, absolutely yes. You can do it, but you have to be ready to all those things which are not little or simple. It's basically time consuming. It's language barriers and a lot of other things that you have to overcome.
Right. So yeah, let's get into some of those reasons here. First, let's explain, what is retail arbitrage? Okay. So I'll just share that here. It's retailing products at a higher price from one platform while placing orders at a lower price at a different retail site. So here's an example. Like in your situation, you retail products from Amazon to eBay, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And those are two, obviously huge, enormous selling platforms. And, as we start to get into the, details later on, and there's lots and lots of, thousands of different retail sites you can consider. Of course, these are platforms that you can sell products on, but there's a lot of things you can do with the retail arbitrage. But, where we're eventually going to get at here in terms of the major point that we'll discuss at the very end is there's a better model to follow, and we'll get into that as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the major issues that you should be aware of when you consider going into the retail arbitrage model or following that model. Okay.
Okay.
So Nev, you shared with me that first the margins you experience are pretty low in many cases, right?
Yeah, exactly. The point of arbitrage is basically selling from one retailer and using his already high prices in most cases and put higher prices on them. So it's from one retailer, one retail price to another retail price. So you
Right.
cannot explode your prices. So you have to go with very, very low margins.
It's pretty tough. Do you have an example that you could think of off the top of your head where you sold something from Amazon and you sold on eBay, and what kind of margins?
I can tell you about a knife sharpener that I used to sell.
Okay.
It was actually one of the first items I ever sold, but it was a very sought out product. Everybody liked it, and I sold I sold this item many times, but it was about $37 in Amazon. And
Okay.
after I needed to calculate the break even,
Right.
then put some profit. I almost got to $50 and maybe even more. And you cannot jump over the fence with the prices because people are not stupid.
Right.
They will see that
They usually shop around, right?
Yeah, exactly. People that like to shop online, they shop online. They know how to shop.
Right.
So, so what's left for you is just the little pieces of prices that you can do, and being left with about $1, maybe $2 profit.
Right. So maybe we can go through those kind of a breakdown of when you got paid, on a product. Let's just say you got paid $100, and roughly $20 every $100 was lost in this process. And this is kind of the eBay or the breakdown of the fees that were all involved, right? So eBay, they take their fee, 10%. PayPal, They have transaction costs of 2.5 to 3.9, depending on the account you have with them. And then some money was used to buy Amazon gift cards to be able to try to increase your profit margin, right?
Yeah.
But there's a cost there.
Yeah, the thing is, you cannot use the money in your PayPal to buy Amazon gift cards on Amazon because Amazon does not accept PayPal. So you have to convert that money from PayPal into your bank account or your debit card or whatever.
Right.
If you're an international like me, so you have a fee of the transaction, the currency conversion. That will also take some 4 to 8%, and that kills you. This is horrible.
Yeah, that is. There's a lot of people in the pie taking their piece.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you mentioned here that the rest of the money was transferred to your bank account, a 4% loss on the currency conversion. So, guys, it's really important to be aware of these things. These are things that a lot of, talking heads out there online are not really revealing, it's very easy to get caught up with, the hype that, so-and-so just made $100,000 in a month, or they just made $1 million this year, whatever the case is. I mean, there's a huge chunk of that money that they're just not even telling you is lost in, behind the scenes with all these different fees that are involved with the whole sell and transferring the money process. So
exactly, and you have to understand when you use the eBay app on your phone, and you have a sale, and it goes with a beautiful cha-ching, and you are so excited.
Like a dopamine drip, right? The chemical.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you're really, really excited. It sounds, it's a wonderful sound.
Right.
But after you think about it, okay, so I have to work now for $1.
Right.
Okay, I will do it. It's $1 more than I had before.
Right.
But when you look at the chart and you see, okay, $10,000 this month. No, it's not $10,000.
Right.
Way less.
Way less. Yeah. So hopefully everybody understands that, after going through this example here, and so just be aware of that. You always do your number crunching before you start to get into any type of sales. And, that's one of the major things I teach all my students in my mentoring program and online through Dropship XL. So, all right, well, let's go on to the next, con in terms of following the retail arbitrage method here. So competing against a massive crowd of other people who are selling the same products, on the same platform. There's, millions of folks selling products on Amazon and eBay, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Fierce.
And what thing is, when you find a really, really good product that sells very, very good on Amazon, which means a lot of people are liking it, and then Amazon, which is a very, very good platform to sell on it, and they show you as a customer what are the best selling products, and then you will go, okay, this is a best selling product, I will sell it myself. I will drop ship it to eBay, and then you come to eBay and you see that there's about 200 people doing the same thing for the same product. And you have to compete with that, and that's almost a lost cause.
Right. The saturation is really high, and because of the barrier of entry, right? I mean, the barrier of entry is just so easy. Anybody and their dog can get in, and so with the model that I'll share with you afterwards, a lot of you people, that are watching this training here in the future, already know the model that Dropship XL stands for and what I teach there. But that's the best route, I found, and it still holds true.
Mm-hmm.
Retailing higher end products, focusing on a niche market, and making your business product or people centric instead of product centric is what Dropship XL is all about. So another issue that retail arbitrage has, that is there's max order limits that can happen very fast that you experience as well with Amazon. You mentioned here that if you have a great selling product on eBay, Amazon limits the number of orders you can place with them when you're on the individual account type. And like you said to me, I mean, this is not always the case, but it was for you, and it changes.
There's two things.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. There are two different things that Amazon used to do. They still do it, by the way. Amazon got a Prime account, and a Prime account means that everything on Prime, everything that is eligible for Prime shipping, means that it's free. It doesn't matter how much it costs. It will be free, and it will be shipped very fast.
Right.
Sometimes you will get it the next day. And this is something no one can compete with Amazon.
Yeah.
But they don't like drop shippers to abuse the Prime. So what they do is when they see someone that buys in big quantities from the same product, they will identify him as someone that abuses the Prime account. And they will cancel his Prime membership. This is one thing.
Right.
The other thing
Yeah.
that many third-party sellers in Amazon will limit an account for a number of purchases for the same product.
Right.
I mean, they will say, okay, you can only buy 10 pieces of that product in 1 month.
Yeah.
But you have no idea to know that like before you do it.
Yeah.
So if you got one product that sells like crazy on eBay and that happens, and suddenly you cannot purchase it from Amazon anymore, you're stuck.
Right. Yeah, the transparency is just not there. You have to like test it out and even, find out after the fact, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So yeah, definitely be aware of that. The next, con of retail arbitrage is you're always at the mercy of the selling platforms such as eBay and Amazon and so forth. They make the rules, right? I share the example of you were to build a house on someone else's land. Well, they set the rules, and what happens with that piece of property in your house. But if you own the rules, if you own the house, then you can control those rules. You set them, and so. In your experience, they can close your selling account at any time with no warning, and I've actually had that happen twice to me too. And so we have that in common there.
Yeah, you are not just at the mercy of those platforms. You are actually the way I feel, you are hostage.
Yeah, you're held hostage at it, right? I mean, of course
they take so many fees out of you. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And for one, no reason, they will just close your account, and there's nothing you can do.
Right. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. That's the truth. So, yeah, definitely a pain in the butt when that happens. So cashback programs. So this is a great way of, increasing the profit margins on your products, regardless if you do arbitrage or not. But in this particular case study with Niv, he went through and was able to increase his profit margin on his products by getting, gift cards and so forth. You want to share anything here, Niv?
Yeah. Okay. Let's say up until 2014, 2015, you could actually make a good profit on one individual sale, let's say more than $15. And that will be okay. I will be very happy to get $15 profit on one sale on a regular basis. That was really, really good, and that happened. But when everything got so saturated from all Amazon dropshippers on eBay, the only other way to actually earn more money was through cashback programs.
Right.
And you have different kind of cashback sites all over, and they give you a different percentage in different on different sites. Let's say they have for Amazon, I don't know, like 5% cashback on the patio and garden category. And they will have 2% cashback on the sports. And they will have 8% on, I don't know what, Kindle store.
Right.
Or whatever, anything that you can use.
Yeah, they have a lot of different programs,
yeah,
right?
Exactly. Now, for the international dropshipper, that was more or less the only bloodline that we can really get more money than just a little profit.
Right.
But if I put it in front, compare it to international to a US account, it's a very, very big difference, because US bank accounts and credit cards got their own internal, many times they got their own internal cashback systems, and they got their own rewards in fly bonuses and in shopping carts,
right.
and in gift cards, and many different things that we do not have to use it or to implement it into the business.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right.
This is one thing. Like, as you can see on section number 3, you have this site called uPromise. uPromise is a very, very good site. You can see it.
Yeah.
But for people that are students, you can actually buy many, many things there that you will get the cashback, and they will deposit into your student loans account. And it's a very nice program to people that live in the United States, and very you can get easy stuff, cheaper stuff if you're a student.
Right.
Now, also, if you're not a student, you can use it. But the only way they will pay you the cashback, it will be either to bank wire or into your student loans account or to check. They will send you a check.
Yeah.
All of those options are good only if you have an United States bank account. And you are located in the United States. So I cannot use it. And that way I will be losing sometimes up to 15% cashback.
Right.
That's a big chunk of money.
Right. So this is the disadvantage of not being able to use this being international, you're saying, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, thanks for sharing that insight there, Niv, on the cashback programs and the experience there. Let's anything else you want to share there before we move on to the next one?
No, we can go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned here that some retailers have limitations on accepting international payment methods using PayPal and credit cards.
Yeah.
A lot of my students have experienced that too.
Yeah, exactly. One of the biggest disadvantages are great retailers like Overstock that they just don't accept any international payment methods.
Right.
They not accept any credit cards that are not Americans or PayPal that is not an American PayPal. The only way to use them will be with a gift card. And then you go back to how to purchase gift cards.
Right.
And that's another cycle.
Yeah.
And
vicious cycle.
And Overstock, as I talked before about cashback, Overstock got the best cashback system, the internal cashback system. They have cashback up to 40% in store. And they will also send you the daily coupon that sometimes you will get about 35%. 35% on the daily. You can see even 70, but this is not cashback. This is just the sales.
Right.
Yeah, you see a 15% daily coupon. The next day will be 20%. The other day it will be 30%. If you go down,
it's different. Right.
Yeah, they got the O Club.
Yep, right here.
Yeah, and it costs $20 a year. And okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
But if you go inside, they have a special place just for the O Club members that you can buy products, and some of them will have like 40% cashback.
Yeah, depending on the deals, you said, right?
Yeah, this is huge, and you can sell them, on a lot less on eBay than you will actually purchase them on the shop, because you will get the money back on your next account, on your next person.
Yeah, you've really got to work the system. That's for sure. I mean, I've gone over here to Vitacost and done the same thing, and they have a lot of the same type of structure when it comes to deals, but they have a few other elements that are a bit more unique. They have buy one get one free. They have discounts. They have the whole section on deals, right? With clearance and coupons and but you've really got to stay on top of all this. With it's very research intensive, to be able to stay on top of it. You have to have help. You need to be able to have someone to be able to do this research for you, and you can definitely do it. But just, again, this is a training, a case study to help you guys be aware of what's really involved with all the nuts and bolts of inside the system of doing a retail arbitrage business. Okay.
Yeah, that's also you have to remember that if you're an international and you're not American, and let's say you are not from any other speaking like native English speaking country like the UK or Australia,
right?
You have a language barrier, and it's okay. So you can speak English, but there are a lot of local American terminology that people from outside just don't know, and
Yeah.
you have to. For me, it was one of the hardest things to do is to learn how the American speak, how they talk, how they call things.
Yeah, that's always going to be a friction point, for anyone, right, with language barrier. And yeah, I hear you on that one. So just to recap here, with the retailers that don't accept international payments, from what you experienced as well, include Overstock, Home Depot, Sears, Sam's Club, Costco, Walmart, and there's others, but those are some of the top ones.
Yeah, Walmart is just like about 3 months ago they stopped accepting international paper. I don't know why.
Who was that?
Walmart.
Oh, Walmart. Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah, well, it goes back to what you experienced and I experienced as well, but primarily you, since you're international, is they set the rules, right? It's their business, and rightfully so. But just one of those things to be aware of. So,
exactly.
So this is also huge right here. I've experienced this as well with other students, and the IP restrictions and banned eBay accounts. So maybe we can go over that here and share your experience.
Yeah. Now this I can understand why they do it, because of security.
Right.
But they act like they are the Pentagon or something. I mean, it's just an eBay account. And
right.
What happens is you cannot. No, it's not that you cannot. You can use many different eBay accounts as a seller on the same IP account. That is okay. That's possible. But the moment you do that, all the accounts are linked.
Right.
And they are forever linked.
Yep.
Which means that, let's say, on the same house, there's 3 brothers, and each one of them are selling on eBay. Two of them are doing really, really good, and one of them has just made a big mess, and eBay restricted his account and closed it, and he's banned. Automatically, The other 2 will be banned as well, even though they are perfectly okay.
Right. Very frustrating. Yeah.
It's horrible.
Yeah. So some of the potential solutions and workaround, solutions for that was, to use VPN browsers such as Windscribe. There's also, add-ons you can add on, right, to browsers with Firefox or Google Chrome at a proxy. What's that?
Yeah, with the different proxies, you can get them very easily online. But again, they cost money.
Yeah. Yeah, and they're also limited, right? Like Windscribe is limited up to a certain, level until you got to pay for it, right?
Exactly. I mean, I always prefer to buy them, but many of them, and this is another frustrating thing, they will give you non-dedicated servers or IPs, then you can fall on an IP that is already banned.
Yeah,
on eBay.
Exactly.
Nothing.
And you wouldn't know. Yeah, you wouldn't know ahead of time.
Yeah, you have no way to know. And the only way to avoid that is to get a dedicated IP, and you still don't know if it was banned.
Yeah.
But you will be the only one to use it.
Right. Yep, exactly. So yeah, excellent point. Excellent point.
There is another way to avoid that, which is even more money. It's I don't know how you call it back in America, but we call it NetStick.
Okay.
It's like a cellular device that you connect straight to your computer.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay.
So you go like a cellular surfing. So you
Okay.
will always have your own private IP. This is, but here it costs a lot of money.
Okay. It's called a net stick.
The net stick, yeah, net stick, just for the way we call it.
Oh yeah, like this. Okay, right.
Express
Yeah.
streaming. We
Yeah.
call it net stick because it's a USB internet.
Right.
It goes on the cellular, how do you call it? The cellular device.
Right. Yeah. Okay. That's good to know.
Mhm.
Well, right on, Niv. Well, let's go over these last elements here on some of the cons, and then we'll get into some of the pros, and then we'll wrap it up here for today. But so we briefly mentioned this a little bit earlier, but yeah, you got to produce an extremely high sales volume to make a decent living. If you're counting on the retail arbitrage to quit your job and make it really well out there financially, just know that you have to sell a lot to be able to make that possible. And
Yeah.
for most folks, a decent living is somewhere around $60,000 on up to $100,000 net income in a year. And to be able to do that, you made $30,000 net income in 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
right? Having to sell 500,000 products and finding out the ones that were really good to actually sell, that actually were your major sales, volume products, and
eventually getting kicked from eBay.
yeah, right. And in your experience there in this, during those 2 years, it was critical for you to use automation and different programs, to research and list products. I mean, doing that manually would be just insane.
Exactly.
Now, some of those examples of those systems that you used to be able to automate a lot of that costed you about $4,500 in 2 years. And here's some of those examples of the research tools. We won't go into them into detail, but these notes will be shared inside the membership here. You guys can check out, or right below this training. But so Shopit, salesfreaks.com and chili-hunter.com, as a research tool that you used. And so you can check those out. But what were some of the major benefits that you experienced, with these tools?
Okay, so first of all, you have to understand that when you're working with Amazon and you have more than 100 products, I say more than 50 products, you will have to have a monitor or a price protector, because on Amazon, the prices changes sometimes. For one product, they will change at least 8 times a day.
Right.
And you cannot be there for, let's say you have 10,000 items online, or let's say 1,000 items. You cannot check them. You have to have something to, like a bot that does it. And Shopit was the monitor I used to do that, and it was a very good one. And I was actually really, really pleased with the functionality.
Yeah, they run a pretty good system, right?
Yeah. They're actually really good friends of mine, the owners as well.
Yeah.
Also Israelis. But they cost money, like everything else. It costs money.
Yeah. Nothing that's going to be for free.
Nothing will be for free. But they have a system inside the tool, that they have this tool that's called the lister, and you can put list a product from Amazon or from Walmart or Sears, and it will upload the product, and it will make a list with a certain template that you upload, everything you want. Really, really easy, really, really fast, and very smooth.
Right.
And you can also do the same thing in bulk.
Yeah.
But when you do in bulk, your quality goes down.
Yeah. Right.
The other ones are like SellFreaks. They will automate everything. You will only need to put a search that you do on Amazon, and they will import everything. And the only thing you need to do is give them the profit percentage you want, and that's it. They will also do the selling, the automatic selling, and all of that.
They do the whole thing. It's the whole automation process, not just listing. It's everything. Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Very
The
good.
only thing you need to do is do a search and then import the URL of the search. That's it.
Right.
But you will get a lot of a lot of mistakes, a lot of products that are out of stock, and the monitoring at the time was bad in my
Yeah. It's pretty
and
crazy. Right.
yeah, and they used to take 50% of a sale of my profit.
Wow.
That was crazy. That was the
Right.
reason I fired them.
Yeah. So D-Shop, it would take 50% for their fee, right?
No, this shop it wouldn't. No, this shop it were a lot more reasonable. They would take
Oh,
about a certain fee for certain amount of lists per month.
okay.
So
Got it.
you will know from the beginning how much you're going to pay to this shop it. But for
Right.
self-reps, as much as you sell, that's your expenses go up.
Yeah, exactly. For these, third-party systems that you use. Yeah. So again, this provides excellent light again on the barrier of entry into a business. If it's super easy for someone to get into the business, then naturally there's going to be a lot of people doing it because it's very easy to get started, right, and to pursue. And you have to be aware of that because otherwise, you'll go into it blindly, and it's never fun going into the game blindly. It's a way to
Yeah,
get crushed, So
no free rides.
yeah. So you found manually searching was better for you than relying on those automation tools. And, I found that out myself as well because you're able to be more precise with paying attention to the things that systems can't really observe. You're able to connect the dots a lot more efficiently,
Exactly.
especially seeing the big picture, right?
It's more than that. I mean, the human mind got the ability to think.
Right.
The programs they got the ability to work very very fast, but they will do just what you tell them.
Exactly.
And sometimes you will tell the automation to do A, B, C, and D, but then you think about maybe C and A are bad, and
Right.
you want to change them with the F and Y.
Yeah.
But
Different
that's only you
variables.
can do. Only you can see it.
Yep. Yeah. So that's a good point. Monthly selling limits. This is with eBay, not Amazon. You start with 100 the first month, 200 the second month, and so forth. You can't just go straight into the system and start selling millions of products. It's throttled,
Yeah.
right? So we'll move on to the next one here, but just be aware of that. There's also eBay and PayPal fees. We talked about that a bit when we started to talk about the trickle down process of after you make a sale, what happens, with that money. Okay. So we won't go into that again here, but
Basically, sorry, Trent.
no, you're good.
Basically, eBay got three levels of selling. One of them is just a seller account, and the other two will be eBay stores. One will be a basic store, and another will be an anchor store,
Yeah.
which is bigger, and the fees are lower, but you will pay more. I mean, they will reduce and they will give you discount for more listing that you do, but eventually you will pay the same because you will have a lot more products in your store.
Right. You have great volume. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Creating too much work, therefore needed help. Virtual assistants, they cost money, of course. And you had one for about 3 months, and decided to let the person go. But that's of course
The
very
thing is
important
with
to
VA,
realize.
the thing is with VAs, many of them are really, really good workers. But what happens is that when you have a running business and you put someone new for taking yourself a bit out of the equation to, I don't know, earn more time,
Yeah.
you have to teach the person everything. And if it was, a brand new account, there's no problem. It will take longer. But when
Right.
when you put the guy or the lady, yeah, on this running business that have over 10,000 items, your business will get stuck. And
Right.
this is what happens. They don't understand it at the beginning. They are newbies. You have to teach them everything, and so you have to put more time into teaching them, and then see all the mistakes happening.
Right.
And sometimes
Yeah.
those mistakes can be critical.
Yeah.
And I decided that I didn't like that.
Right.
And let them go.
Yeah, one of the things that I teach in my mentoring and inside of Dropship Excel is how to go about creating relationship agreements. And it helps out not just, of course, with your retail arbitrage, but at the very core of business building. And what that entails, I won't, of course, go into a depth on that, but the bottom line is, you can prepare your agreements in advance and your training in advance before you hire people. And I teach you how to do that inside of the system and also in the mentoring. But anyways, it's different for each person, and it's a bit laborious up front. If you're not prepared, to go into a hiring situation, and it can bog you down for sure. Especially if you're trying to take care of your family financially, and you want to be able to get your business off the ground. And training someone takes time and money.
Yeah.
Great points. So yeah, price competition battles. Next point. There's people who are always trying to undercut one another. with the whole world of selling stuff online and just selling stuff anywhere, right? But one of the huge benefits of working with the right type of supplier who has a minimum advertised pricing agreement in place is that you can't advertise that product below a certain price. And that's what I teach in Dropship Excel and also my mentoring. But with your experience, with the price competition battles that you saw, a lot of people, would increase just the feedback scores and take a loss on the sale just for that sake alone, right?
Yeah, exactly. Because most of the, I don't know if most, but so many of the third-party sellers on Amazon have what it's known as private label products, which is basically a product that they had it manufactured or just created for them in China. It's just a product that instead of being brown, it's blue.
Yeah.
they make something different. They put their own initials on the product.
Right.
They gave them a different name, and they start selling it. So you have a different way, many different kind of the same product, and different prices from many different suppliers
Right.
on Amazon. So what will happen is that you will have a war that everybody wants to find the lowest
Price and get them in
the
the
lowest
door, right?
price in Amazon,
Right.
and it's a jungle.
Yeah. So to stay out of the jungle, guys, make sure you work with the right type of suppliers and those other strategies. But the number one is the backbone of your dropshipping business is having solid suppliers on board. So yes, it's also tough to get repeat sales from customers. When they buy from you through Amazon or eBay, you got to be able to have systems in place, especially from Amazon. They don't give you, the person's email. With eBay, they do, but you still gotta, work with them to be able to try to get that person to come back. And usually they don't. They just go straight to eBay again, just buy something else. And so there's very little email marketing advantages. And I'm a huge fan of email marketing. It still continues to be one of the major drivers of sales for me and my students. And also other folks, worldwide who run successful businesses online. So that's a huge point right there to be aware of.
I must say that when you have, as I said before, you have 3 different kind of levels. As a seller, you will not be able to create a newsletter, but if you have in Encore store, you will be able to do that. Of course, it will cost you more to eBay, and they will charge you more for that. But
Right.
the benefits of email marketing is huge.
Amen.
Yeah, exactly. And
Amen.
those benefits, when you as a newbie go to begin your eBay arbitrage dropshipping adventure, nobody will ever tell you about email marketing inside eBay.
Yeah.
It just doesn't exist.
Right.
And just afterwards, you said, "What about email marketing?" I got all those emails, and
Yeah.
then you can start using them.
Right. I mean, right now you're in the process of taking the thousands of other emails that you've actually acquired and actually doing something. They've been, they were dormant, but when you could have, routed those into an email marketing sequence to be able to get them to buy more and more from you at no additional expense. Right.
Exactly. And Trent, you have no idea how many lists I have found.
I love to hear that. That's awesome.
Way more than the number I told you.
Wow, cool. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to helping you out with strategizing on that and helping you turn that into a profitable cash cow for you.
Amen.
And the last point we'll share with you here today in terms of the cons of the arbitrage model is taking advantage of customer ignorance. It's kind of a hard pill to swallow, but it's true. I mean, the public can just go over to AliExpress. A customer doesn't have to get accepted with them to get the prices that they see on here. Anybody can come here and buy. Same thing with Alibaba, DHgate, Wish.com, and the list goes on and on.
I can show you even a better way to show it. If you go to tomtop.com.
Tom what?
Tomtop.
TOMTOP?
Yes.
.com?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Now this is a Chinese. This is also a Chinese site. It's like AliExpress, but way better in my experience.
Okay.
And they
same
will
interface.
they will accept PayPal, which AliExpress just beginning to do.
Okay. Got it.
Now, if you go on the left, you will see local warehouse in the second. Yeah, exactly. And you go to United States warehouse. It's the second one. And then you will find tons. If you see the different flags, you will know where they have warehouses. Let's say if you take the first one, this remote control. Yeah, just click on the item, and you will see the differences in the shipping costs and the shipping times and the prices.
Right.
Yeah, you see the differences you will get it in 5 days.
7 to 20 days from China, United States, 2 to 5 business days, and then Germany. Usually,
yeah, but Germany is just for Europe.
Right.
So let's say if I focus on the United States, so you can sell it from China and you can sell it from the United States. But what they will do, and sometimes it's to get the money from the shipping. And I would say, okay, you want it faster? I can send it to you. It will get to you not in 20 days. It will get to you in 2 weeks. But I want $50 more.
Right.
And it doesn't cost you anything from the United States warehouse.
Right. And that's how they were able to increase, the profit.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. And he will get it in, let's say, less than a week, and he will be so pleased that it's not 2 weeks.
Right. Yeah.
And
right.
This is taking advantage.
Exactly. And that's exactly the topic right there is, the con is, everybody has their own value system, but ultimately, if you were to follow the golden rule, treat others as you would like to be treated, it's really tough to have that be in conflict with many people's value systems when they know that, they could just simply go straight there, just buy it. I'm not really providing any real value,
Yeah.
So, with the suppliers that help people get approved with and teach them how to do it themselves as well through building their own niche dropship business, you have to go through an application process. You go through and you get accepted from a supplier directly, and you cut out the middleman. And the value you're providing is the retail work and selling and the whole process of building your business in connection, when you're connected with a great supplier. So that's just the biggest, one of the biggest differences there when it comes to selling and creating value, building a dropship business following the model I teach versus just the retail arbitrage approach. So
creating value is the main difference here.
Right.
This is exactly that.
And everyone I've come across that have gone, that goes the retail arbitrage approach is, and by default, you don't have to, but most of them go the product centric route. It's all about the products. You got to sell thousands of products to get anywhere. And the opposite of that that works out better is, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, which was the focus of Dropship XL is people centric. If you build a business and focus in on the people who have the money that you want to get, they have the money you want. You got to be able to solve the problems and cater to them and build your business around the people instead of around the products. So, all right, guys. Well, we're almost done here today, but hopefully you're gaining some value and getting some great insights, into the retail arbitrage model that you probably hear a lot about out there, and this will provide hopefully the clarity that you need to make the decisions that are critical to move forward. Okay, with the model that I teach with Dropship XL, and you can consider doing retail arbitrage, but you'll be able to now do it with your eyes wide open. So let's you probably have been able to deduce some of the benefits already from our conversation here today, but I'll just outline them here on. There are benefits of doing this, right? You don't have to worry about getting your own traffic. When you sell products on Amazon and eBay and elsewhere, they do the marketing for you. So that's a huge benefit. You can quickly leverage the huge retail inventory from the suppliers, from Walmart and Amazon. I mean, it's already there. You don't have to, worry about, usually products going out of stock that often. I mean, you still got to worry about that because products do go out of stock, and that's what you experience too, right, Niv?
Yeah, but in this case, let's say a product goes out of stock in Amazon, you can almost always find it in Walmart.
Yeah, and from another platform, right?
Yeah, so maybe it will cost a bit more. Maybe shipping rates will be different. Maybe, but you will most probably find the product.
Yeah, exactly. So you can easily upload many items to your store. There's systems like we pointed out earlier that you can use to be able to do that. You don't have to do that manually. So it's quite easy to do that. I mean, even if you were to do it manually, such as going over to Amazon, I mean, it's pretty simple. Just within a matter of 5 minutes or so, you can have a product listed and ready to go. It's ready to have someone buy.
Yeah, very easy.
And there's no need to jump through hoops to get approved with retailers. And that is a good perk, but also it can be also viewed as a con too, because that barrier of entry again. Since it's so easy, again, everybody and their dogs are in this market with doing retail arbitrage, and it's tough to make any really good profits. And so you can start selling quickly. We mentioned that a little bit, and it's easy to define and exclude shipping policies. What's been your experience with that?
It's something that you can do it on the way of uploading a list. You just create one, and then it's up in your back office, and then you can use it or create a new one. And when you're uploading a different product from a different supplier, you just go and use this shipping policy, and then let's say I'm using a product from Overstock, so I will use that Overstock shipping policy that's
right.
already used. It's already created, and I just click of a button and I use it. I just do it once.
And you're done.
I just create it once, and it's done. I know this guy from Overstock, this one from Walmart, no problem.
Yeah, so that is nice.
Yeah.
So guys, if you do retail arbitrage and follow that model, then just to wrap it up, consider these things here. Okay, have a U.S. bank account and credit card, where possible. And be sure to get great gift cards, reward cards to increase your margins, and other business perks such as travel and hotel. And focusing on niche, okay, instead of a mass market retail arbitrage approach. Make
I
it
agree.
more people centric, right? Get clear about your target audience and really understand their needs and their goals. What's the itch that you're going to itch for them, so to speak? Okay.
It will be easier.
Right. Did you want to add anything there?
Yeah, I'm just saying the best thing you can take from this slide is the focus. It's the first word, focus. Always
Right.
focus on what you want, where you want to go.
Amen.
If you're not gonna focus, you're gonna be stuck. You're gonna be
Yeah.
stuck and frustrated, and this doesn't take you anywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to spread yourself too thin, guys. And so, focus is huge no matter what you do. And there's no exception here, with the model of retail arbitrage or building a dropship business based upon the model I teach you with the 7 phases. So, consider the top 12 retail sources. There's like I said, there's thousands of them. But these are some of the top ones that I've used. Not all these ones, but most of them I have, along with Niv. But Overstock, Home Depot, Hay Needle, Target. I mean, huge, retail outlets, right, and systems and companies.
Yeah, and also they are very drop shipping friendly.
Good, right. So that's that's excellent to know. So hopefully this case study has been really valuable for you guys, and it's been enlightening to help you understand how to go about navigating through the waters of retail arbitrage. And if you were to go the route, I'm not a huge fan of it, and neither is Niv anymore. But there's something that of course can be learned here with some possibilities of what you could do, with arbitrage if you were to go that route. And but ultimately, when you set up your account, if you're not already a member with Dropship XL or working with me privately through a mentorship, then you can set up an account, or apply, and we can work out, the details and helping you get going. But let's just read the summary here. I'll share this with you. So the system was good, you said, and it was profitable up to 2015 or more or less. The amount of work you put into finding the items and fine tuning the list on eBay wasn't that profitable, with margins getting smaller and smaller, like we mentioned earlier on that. Overwhelming numbers of newer sellers competing on the same products was too much, and it created a drop in sales and profits for each sale. And the eBay's fees combined with PayPal fees were too much, leaving you almost no profit on a sale. So
yeah. Exactly. At the beginning, when I started, because I was getting good profits for each sale, I could focus everything I did on that, on eBay, and I was getting nice amount of money, and I had my day job, which got nothing to do with eBay, but the supplement of like $1,000 a month or $2,000 a month was very good. Let's say it was very helpful. And the point, the thing was that it was worthwhile to put like an extra 4 or 5 hours after work on my computer just for this. It was worth it. But after that, it all plummets and went down to so small profits.
Right.
And
those
wasn't worth it.
Right. I mean, those other people are using the same systems and same type of automation programs too, to be able to observe what products are selling well. And it's very easy to just get in and start doing the same thing. And same
exactly.
issues that we talked about earlier, right?
And it's not only that. When you got like massive amount of people doing the same thing, many of them will be not very intelligent people, statistically. And when not intelligent people are working in the same pool with you,
Right.
the value, no, it's not the value, it's the quality of everything will go down, and they will mess up the good things, the good parts, and it
Yeah.
will like tackle the good people that actually doing a good job, because
Right.
many of them will just come and copy all your store, and it will not help them, it will just damage you.
Right. Yeah. Again, it's the barrier of entry issue. Yeah. So, all right, guys. Well, appreciate you, investing your time in this training here today on this case study with Niv, a great guy. And we'll end here for today. And you have a wonderful day. Okay. All the best.
Awesome.